We welcome you to another live edition of The Sports Box, your go-to sports podcast featuring great content, conversation, and your occasional disagreement. Stick around to interact and ask questions. Ladies and gentlemen, it's showtime.
On smoke, it's all about the cash flow. So come on and get this money, man. Getting paper, and we always do it major on the slow, you know it.
Woo! Man, what a crazy day. Title games, game-winning drive. Your boy Drew, that's Alex. We're going to talk and get into the craziness of today. A lot of things we didn't see. A lot of things that I didn't expect to happen happened. And man, we are going to talk about the debacle of probably one of the worst coaching games we have ever seen, probably in the history of NFL, right, Alex? I mean, that was probably one of the worst. I honestly, I think of Brandon Staley, obviously, right, Alex, from last year's wild card game when the Chargers were up by a lot heading into the second half. But I feel like this one's going to take the cake over that one just because of the decisions that Coach Campbell made for the Detroit Lions. You could easily say that he's the reason why the Detroit Lions are now going to their first Super Bowl. So we're going to get into it. We're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about the first game. A couple of the guys are going to join. They're running a little bit late. But we are presented by Sportsbox. We're going to get into everything and talk about everything. Give us your comments. Give us your likes. Give us your follows if you haven't followed, man. 25,000. Strong following us. We got almost 2K on our Game Winning Drive page, man. Things are going crazy. Let's talk. I want to hear everybody's opinions on this because I feel like it's going to be a very diverse subject that we're going to talk about in the Detroit game. But first and foremost, Alex, let's get in and let's talk about the Ravens and the Chiefs. So I had the Ravens winning this game. I don't know what you picked on Tuesday night.
Ravens as well, but I said
Ravens as well. Okay.
Yeah, but I said I would not be surprised at all if Kansas City won.
Okay.
And it turned out exactly the way I described it if they were going to win, which was them being ahead at halftime, it being a low-scoring game, and that's what happened.
Okay. John Suggs, one of our big time followers. Lions played with heart. I wouldn't necessarily say it's Dan's fault. A lot of drop balls. I disagree, but we'll get into it. We'll talk about it. So the issue that we're having here with the Baltimore Ravens, the Chiefs. I mean, Patrick Mahomes. What can you say? What can you not say about this young man? Not even 30 years old, 15 wins. I think he's behind two quarterbacks, Tom Brady, and I think was it Joe Montana, Alex? I think. Who's the other quarterback he's behind?
He's only behind Tom Brady, to my knowledge.
Is it only Brady? Okay.
With this win, I think he's only
with
behind.
this win. Okay.
One.
But Mahomes is going to his fourth Super Bowl. Is that correct?
In 6 years.
In 6 years. So is this a dynasty?
Yeah, it's a mini dynasty. I think this is the closest thing we'll see to what New England had in their heyday. I think this is what the new standard for a dynasty would be, right? Like I don't think we'll see 6 Super Bowls unless it's the Chiefs. I don't see another team that's going to get the 6 Super Bowls in a 15-year period, let alone 4 out of 6. Like that's pretty impressive. So let's get into the dynamics of the game, right, Alex? So at the first half, the Ravens defense was not doing what they usually do: pressure the quarterback, get in the backfield, create havoc. Travis Kelce, 11 catches, Alex. 11 catches. Everyone thought that he was done. I think he was just injured all year and trying to fight through it, and now he's healthy. 11 catches for him. Nothing else besides that. And Pacheco, who I think is a rising star in the NFL. He had over 60 yards rushing.
And Patrick Mahomes, Alex. I mean, there's not nothing we can say about him. No wide receiver one. I know Rashee Rice we're very fond of here on this show, and he's not there yet. So I wouldn't consider him a wide receiver one, Alex. And so even with all that in there, an underrated O line. I said it this morning on the Sports Box Morning Countdown. No Thuney, and still wasn't an issue against his passing rush. Clowney was non-existent. Roquan Smith was non-existent through the entire first half. The only guy that really popped off my screen was Kyle Hamilton. Other than that, Alex, it was a great offensive game plan by Big Red and establishing the run, winning at the trenches, and Patrick Mahomes doing what Patrick Mahomes does. He's able to win with his legs, which separates him from the greatest quarterback of all time, in my opinion, Tom Brady. But he has the ice in his veins. So it's really magical what I saw today. My bold thing that I wanted to say, my bold prediction was that if Mahomes won today, Alex, it gets to his fourth Super Bowl in 6 years, I have him catapulting into my top five. I know a lot of people. I'm very.
I mean, he's already in my top five. So
right, I know. But for me, I'm pushing out Aaron Rodgers, and now Patrick Mahomes is in my top five. So I don't know if that's like a bold statement because apparently a lot of people have him in their top five today. So maybe I'm just living outside in the shell. I don't know. But what a performance today by him. Now let's turn it over and talk about Lamar Jackson. Lamar Jackson, what's up, B?
What's going on, man?
What's up, Brian?
What's up, man?
All right, so we're headed over to the Ravens side, Alex. So talk to us a little about your perspective of what happened with the Ravens today.
So ultimately, Lamar's going to get blamed, right? Because when they win, it's all him, and when they lose, it's all him, right? But if you watch this game, it's going to be an unpopular opinion in Baltimore, but I think Harbaugh should be fired. Period, plain and simple. I don't care what anybody thinks about it. I don't care what you say. Don't at me. Don't at me. Don't come at me. But watch the film in every big game, right? And yes, Lamar did play timid in this game. He double pumped a couple times. The strip sack was not his fault. That's a 3-step drop. You cannot put it on your quarterback. If your $20 million a year left tackle cannot block a guy for a 3-step drop, I'm not blaming my quarterback for getting hit blindside and strip sack. So let's just go with that there, right? As you guys know, I live in Maryland. I live very close to Baltimore. I'm about 25 minutes away. A majority, 90% of my friends in Baltimore are Ravens fans, right? The oddballs are my military friends, but like locals, Ravens fans, obviously. And they pick apart this dude. My thing is this, right? Attitude reflects leadership, right? It's a famous quote from a movie, obviously, right? All that stuff, right? But that's the truth, right? Lamar was timid because his coaching staff is timid in big games. They do not make the proper adjustments in big games. They have the number one rushing offense. They ran the ball 6 times in the second half with running backs, 3 apiece. Where the hell was Gus Edwards this game? You got a guy that had double-digit touchdowns, right? I just don't understand. Where were design runs for Lamar Jackson? Like, he had a couple big plays, but they were off script, right? Everything, if you watch that game, every big play they had was off script, him improvising. There were no designed big plays in that game, period. That is coaching to me. That is game plan, scheme, all that stuff. It's true about the defense. The defense looked like dog crap in the first half, which doesn't make sense because they've pushed everybody around this year. Everyone they have pushed around. So it's confusing to me. I think it's an overall choke job by the Baltimore Ravens. I'm going to say Lamar's going to get 60% of the blame just because he's the face of the franchise. He's the franchise quarterback. He's probably going to be a two-time MVP, and he's deserving of all that, right? I just think his play reflected a lack of confidence in him in a big game by his coaching staff, and I'll leave it at that.
Okay. I'll go real quick and I'll let Brian go because I know Brian's very passionate. He wants to talk about it in our group chat, and I'll let him get his rant going on. But for me, it's a couple of things, man. It's time of possession, 37 minutes to 22 for the Chiefs. The sustaining drives that they kept going on, and the reason, and that's not all because of their offense. That's also because of the self shooting themselves in the foot type of thing for the Baltimore Ravens. 5 of their penalties, me and Brian talked about on the group chat, 5 of the penalties was personal fouls. That was not who the Ravens are. It was very undisciplined football from today. And that can go to your side, Alex, about you want to talk about Harbaugh and you want to talk about him getting fired, or we can talk about the offensive coordinator and the game plan and this and that. We also could talk about the fact that from a perspective of Lamar Jackson, I think Lamar, he wasn't himself today. And he was very just hesitant in the pocket. I felt like the game plan with, hey, the Chiefs Bengal is going to blitz and blitz and blitz and blitz, timely blitz and the A's and B's and C's and D's. How do you want to keep on telling these gaps? It's very well blitzed that this defense does. What do we have to counteract on those blitzes? And I felt like there was no game plan whatsoever in the first half and very little game plan in the second half that didn't improve whatsoever for Lamar Jackson in this offense. Lamar had a 75.5 passer rating. I know a lot of people don't want to buy into those stats, but I mean, the proof is in the pudding. And then he had a 42.5 QBR. 50 is the average. That's not going to get it done for the big time games. And unfortunately, this is going to be an off-season topic because the haters are still going to hate. I don't think this is all on Lamar, Alex. I think you said 60% on Lamar, right? 60. I roll with it now that I sat back and listened to what Brian said. I do not agree with the game plan that the OC brought. I can't say his last name. Walken? What's his name? What's his last name?
Munkin. There you go. Yeah.
Munkin. Munkin. And the last thing I want to say about this is that on the Baltimore side is 3 attempts for Gus, 3 attempts for Justin Hill.
I said that.
6 rushing attempts for both those players. Lamar Jackson, 8 carries, 54 yards. Zay Flowers had a big game, but that fumble at the goal line was absolutely crushing for the team. But
besides the interception he threw, he played a better statistical game than Patrick Mahomes. I mean, he accounted for more of the offense. Yes, he did. He threw for more yards. He had more rushing yards. Yes, he did. Don't argue with the numbers because the numbers are there. Statistically, he had a better game. Barring the interception.
Are you talking about passing yards? Are you talking about just passing yards? Or
he had more passing yards. He had more rushing yards. He had more total combined yards in the game than Patrick Mahomes. You're shaking your head, but you're wrong.
Alex, hold on. Alex, Mahomes had a 91
The numbers
QBR.
are the numbers.
Hold on. I'm telling you the numbers. He had a 91 QBR. Lamar had a 45.
Statistically, 241 to 272 passing yards. Patrick Mahomes had 15 rushing yards. Lamar had 54. If Lamar doesn't have the interception, the QBR is almost identical, Bub. It's a little bit lower because of the completion percentage. What? 91 what?
QBR.
Mahomes had 100.5 QBR to be correct.
No, that's a passer rating.
No, it's not. It's QBR.
Yes,
I'm looking right the fuck at it, guy.
Right. Right
Guy,
here.
100.5. You want to 100.5 QBR. You're looking at the wrong thing. QBR right here, guy.
Either or Mahomes was better.
Yes, I said
look it up.
Without the interception, right? He statistically, meaning more yardage, accounted for more offense.
Take away the interception from Lamar Jackson. How did he play?
If he doesn't have the interception, we don't know what the game happens.
You got to think about it. He didn't play well.
No, I didn't say the guy played amazing.
I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did either. But you're insinuating that Lamar Jackson played well by actually saying that he had significantly better.
No. I didn't.
Mahomes.
Okay. Right. All I said was
stat-wise,
he accounted for more offense than Patrick Mahomes. That's it.
Stat-wise, Lamar Jackson has accounted for more offense than any other quarterback for their team this season. What are you talking about?
I don't even like shitting on Lamar like this, but I don't give a shit. Really, I don't care. I'm probably one of the biggest Lamar Jackson supporters you'll ever meet. Ask Fogg. Since 2016, actually in Louisville, I have been on this dude's bandwagon for years. And I don't give a damn.
And I love Lamar, and B is over the top on Lamar.
And I don't if you're going to tell me that Lamar threw 50 extra yards and tell me that he statistically that's supposed to make us feel better or make him feel better, or I don't know what that justifies. Lamar Jackson didn't play well. It's okay. If I can say that, Ravens fans need to be able to say that. You need to be able to say that. Lamar Jackson didn't play well. He just didn't. I watched that game from start to I saw every throw. And I'm sure you did too. I'm sure everybody on this feed did as well. Lamar Jackson was hesitant. He looked like he didn't really know what he wanted to do with the ball. You know what's funny? We just watched the Lions game, right? And I just texted this to my brother. We saw Brock Purdy look, tuck it, and go. Right? Literally.
First read's out there, he's running.
Kind of won the game, right? It kind of sealed the game for them at that point, right? And then McCaffrey had the big run, and then Elijah Mitchell runs it in. Lamar Jackson didn't do that. And that's supposed to be his bread and butter. What bothers me about Lamar Jackson in these situations is that as much as I love the fact that he's become a better passer, and he knows he's had to, because if he doesn't become a better passer, they're not in this situation. He knows that, and I admire him for getting better. He's one of the hardest working dudes in this league, and it's easy to see. And I really get annoyed when people feel like he doesn't work hard or he doesn't deserve his credit. Well, what are we talking about? He's gotten better every single year, right? But what bothers me about him in these situations, and I think somebody said it in the comments, I think David Jones said it, in playoff time, he's never himself. He's always playing this way where he thinks he has to prove he can throw it. He's got to beat Mahomes. He's got to beat somebody he's not. Bro, just tuck it and run. Do what you got to do. I always felt like Lamar was being safe in the regular season because he wanted to be healthy. And then come playoff time, it's game time. It's 2019 Lamar. That's what I was waiting for. Even in the Texas game, we didn't see that. We kind of did, but not really. And to your point, Alex, this brings me to my next point. Let me put it this way. 60% of the blame is going to Lamar. For me, I'm going to give about 35-ish% to Todd Monken, because it's funny because I know we're going to talk about the Niners and Lions, but before that game, Todd Monken coached one of the worst playoff games
1,000%.
Ever seen.
1,000%.
So I understand what you're saying about John Harbaugh, and honestly, I think he's super overrated because I always bring up this. Lamar Jackson saved this man's job in 2018. They were going to part ways. There's articles everywhere about it. Yeah. They were ready to part ways.
Ozzie saved his job.
Lamar Jackson. Ozzie said, Ozzie saved his job. You're right. Ozzie saved his job. He did. Ozzie saved his job. But I mean, Lamar came in, they make that playoff run, and they get to the playoffs, lose to the Chargers, whatever. But I do believe, I agree with you, Alice. I think John Harbaugh's a little overrated in big games. I think he's somewhat too conservative in a way, in my opinion.
I disagree with that. I think he's a little overrated overall. I think he's highly overrated in big games.
Oh, I mean, no. I think he's overrated.
Guy is the complete choke artist in big games.
I just think that I just feel like Todd Monken, who came in, who we were raving about being possibly the coordinator of the year or whatever it may be, just completely wet the bed. Like, I don't know what he was trying to do. The conservative play calling, it was almost as if he didn't realize who was on the other side. You're not playing against C.J. Stroud. You're playing against Patrick Mahomes. Like, you got to score. You got to ramp it up a little bit. So the play calling was atrocious. I'm not letting Lamar off the hook because he didn't play well. He was missing everything. I mean, it was bad. Like, it was pretty bad. I can't knock the guy. I mean, the guy missed everything. And then the other percentage goes to the defense. The defense it horrific, not horrific, but bad in the first half. But I will say, hold on, Fog. I will say, I know your brother and I disagree. That we already talked about it online. I will say the defense did I don't want to say they put on the clamps on the Chiefs. I really feel like the Chiefs kind of understood what they needed. So they weren't really trying to lap the scoreboard. They weren't trying to lap the scoreboard. They were just trying to control the game, which they kind of did. But the defense did get the ball back for them, but the offense didn't execute. So, the defense played well enough to keep them in the game. But man, it felt like the Chiefs pretty much do whatever they wanted in the first half. That's what I saw. But
I think if we knew that the Chiefs only scored 17 points in this game prior to this game, we would have thought the Ravens won this game.
I had a 17-24 Ravens. That was my prediction.
The Ravens did enough defensively to win this game. The offensive game plan, the play of Lamar, the penalty by Zay, the fumble by Zay, that all crippled them. That cost them the game.
I agree with David Jones. I got to give Spags his flowers. I agree with that a lot.
Greatest DC in the game.
He outcoached Todd Monken.
Yeah.
He clearly outcoached him.
All right, Fog. You were shaking your feet when Brian was talking. Why were you shaking your finger?
Well, no, because he was saying the defense. The defense, outside of that first drive, the defense did its job. The offense failed. When you have your offense 9 minutes, almost underneath 10 minutes of possession time in the first half, are you kidding me? You did nothing. Now, I'm not blaming all that on Lamar, but like Brian said, Todd Monken, his offensive play calling was so vanilla. So basic.
It looked like Greg Roman.
Yeah, exactly. I'm like, he turned around and everything they did leading up to this, they're like, oh, let's discard it. You know who he looked like? Kyle Shanahan in this game, and he damn near got his ass raped. Shanahan could have been fired if they lost this game to the Lions.
We'll get into that in a little bit, 1,000%.
But again, that's what we saw. It's like he turned around, reverted to let's not lose the game instead of let's go out and win the fucking game. Guess what Lamar Jackson's game is? Let me win the game. Let me win. John Harbaugh going to him and saying in last week's game, you want to go for it on fourth down? And Lamar going, yeah, let's go for it. And him going saying, okay, let's do it. Where was that trust tonight? Where was that trust in your team, in your offensive players tonight? There wasn't. Not for nothing, but your game plan was shit too, because Spags came in, and if you looked at KC defense, they were getting at Lamar. They were moving him off his point, moving him off his mark. And even when he had to run, he was running for his life. Where he to a position where he's like, shit, it's either make a play or throw the ball away, and he always tries to make a play, which could be a detriment to you.
But to be
that's a problem.
I want to say this real quick. Fog, to your point, because you're on it right now. To your point, they basically did what they did to the Bills in the second half. Is what they did the entire game of this game today. They literally took away the running lanes, contained the outside,
I don't think they
and
did
made
that.
Lamar into
I'm sorry. Go ahead. I didn't mean to interrupt you. Go ahead.
Oh, it made Lamar into you have to throw the ball. The only way you're going to beat us today is by throwing the ball. And for some reason, still to Brian's point, you still had time in the pocket.
Right.
Only
Exactly.
4 sacks today. 4 sacks today. I know that's a lot compared to the season total because the offensive line for Baltimore is one of the best. Yet, like Alex alluded to earlier, a 3-step drop, and he got sacked because the KC's defensive front was playing to the standards and to the execution of what they were playing last week in the second half against Buffalo. They stopped the run, the prime run, and they made him into a thrower, and Lamar looked like a fish out of water the entire game.
It's not that they made him into a throw. It's not they made him into a thrower. They pressured him in a way where he was throwing. If you looked at Lamar's throws, he was throwing off his back foot. He was throwing off his front foot.
Okay,
he was not set at all.
See, I don't know if I agree with that, but let me interrupt you. I don't know. I don't know if I necessarily agree with what you and Drew are saying in terms of what they were doing to Lamar, because the game I watched, I know we all saw the same game. I know we all watched from different perspectives. I felt like the running lanes were there. I felt like Lamar had the time.
Oh, he didn't take chances. Lamar didn't take chances.
Well, no, but okay, he didn't take.
Which is what we're trying to allude to, Brian.
Say again?
That's what we're alluding to. We're basically saying he was so hesitant on wanting to run or wanting to pass because he looked confused. That's why I say he looks like a fish out of water.
Okay,
why is he stepping back and just doing this when we know that Lamar, if he doesn't have his read, he's gone?
Because that's the hesitation. But
what changes today?
But what Spags did in this game, what Spags did that I feel like what the Ravens were doing to Mahomes, here's the difference between the coaching, right? Mahomes had quick throws on those blitzes. Lamar did not have those quick routes.
He didn't.
That's what
Lamar didn't have hot routes. It didn't look like they had hot routes there for Lamar.
That's the issue. What bothered me, they didn't give him those hot routes.
That's fair.
For whatever reason, when they were blitzing, when they were bringing six or seven or whatever, when they were bringing the house, Lamar didn't have that hot route, so he just kind of stood there. But when they didn't bring anything, what bothered me about Lamar is that I don't know if he looked confused. He just looked. I hate to say this, I really do, because I don't like putting this word attached to Lamar because I don't feel it this way. He looked scared. Now, I'm gonna tell you, he looked like a dude who's just like, oh shit, I'm not sure. He looked like he reverted. Okay, here's what he looked like to me. He looked like the dude in that 2020 game against the Bills where they knocked him out. That's how that was the last. That's how bad he looked. That was the last. I believe the last playoff game he lost. I believe it was against the Bills. He looked awful in that game, and he looked like it was. For me, it wasn't even really the team. It looked like Lamar was just trying to. He was overthinking, and I've always said this about Lamar. Lamar will beat himself because he overthinks, and then you see his body language on the sideline. He's throwing his helmet. I'm like, oh shit, we've lost him. Like he's just one of those dudes that I feel like when he starts to unravel and he starts to overthink and things aren't going his way, it's mental. It's so mental for him. It's so easy to see you can see it in his body language when he's sitting down. Like you can tell when he's having fun. You can tell it's all head. So it's
but Brian, this is and we'll get to the next game because I know we all want to go to bed. Brian, this is why I have an issue when Alex, we talked about this before in the show in the past. When you got quarterbacks like that I hate saying it because it's so unfair to compare people to him, but Tom Brady-esque to get over the mental mistakes, to get over those things. He is the quarterback that people look up to in postseason football, right? Tim, Montana, Steve Young. You want to bring him up? Bring him up. I don't care.
Mahomes.
They're winners. Patrick Mahomes. They get over the small things.
Eli Manning.
And when things, they let the game come to him. I felt like Lamar was trying to get the game to him. So, I mean, it's just it's crazy. A couple comments here. Lamar's 2-5 in the playoffs. Not good so far in his career. Hey, who else is 2-5?
It's 2-4.
Dak.
Chill. Let's get it right,
Is he 2-4?
Austin. Yes, he's 2-4. Don't do that to him,
2-4?
Austin.
Okay. Ravens OC was the biggest fail in that game, though. And I think we all agree. Hey, 60-40. So real quick, percentage-wise, Alex, 60% on the OC or 60% on Lamar, you say?
It's 60% on Lamar just because he's the face of the franchise. Like the potential was there for him to take over the game with his legs.
I agree.
The passing plays were not there, and he didn't. So you guys get confused. I'm just bringing up the fact that I was saying he still didn't play horrendous. He did not look good. I'm not saying that, right? But his stats were not awful. The pick makes them look even worse than they really were because it was a bad pick and it was on him. He threw into 3 defenders. That was a bad throw. Should have never thrown.
I don't know why Likely was putting his hand up anyways. He had 2 guys
Yeah,
on him.
I don't know why.
I don't know why he did this.
I don't know why he did that either.
That makes no sense.
I don't know why he did that either.
Right. But yeah,
who's the 40% on, Alex?
So you guys are gonna say Monken, but it's Harbaugh. You're the head coach. You're responsible.
40% to him?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean,
okay.
Real quick, if you want my true rating, it's 80% on the coaching staff, 20% on the players. But there's a responsibility as a elite quarterback, which Lamar, if he wins his second MVP, he's in that category. No matter what you think about him, he's in that elite quarterback category. So you have to give him the majority of the blame, whether it's fair or not. Right?
Okay. I'll go with Brian real quick. Just give me your percentages of the blame.
Yeah, I said it. 60-40 is 60 Lamar, and then Monken will get 40.
Nothing on Harbaugh?
I mean, naturally, he's the head coach, so he's going to get his staff, but Monken's the play caller, right? We've given him all the credit. So if we give him all the credit, he's going to get the blame for this one.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I agree with B on this. 60-40 on Lamar and the coaching staff.
Yeah, I'm gonna I'm going 70-30. 70-30 on Lamar and 30 on the coaching staff. I disagree with Alex, and I love you, brother, but I think this was a terrible game by Lamar Jackson. I cannot even give him an average grade score when you're below QBR and you're way below passer rating. It's not right, dude. On the flip side of that, boys, we're gonna talk a little bit about the Chiefs. I mean, what a game plan by them. I mean, Big Red was in his bag again today. He did enough offensively to counteract the defense. Patrick Isaiah Pacheco, ground and pound. We talked about it before. That's their bread and butter this year, with no receivers on the outside, and Kelsey that has been hurt all season. But then all of a sudden, these last 3 games, Kelsey is healthy. And 11 catches today, 2 touchdowns last week. The man is reminding people why Taylor Swift wasn't his issue. He was just hurt, and now he's healthy.
I don't think I don't think Kelsey was hurt. I think that Andy Reid is such a genius that he specifically designed play calling away from Kelsey to use him in the playoffs like he is now.
Probably.
I'm sorry.
I mean,
the whole offense.
Theory, but
the whole offense just looks different in the playoffs. Like even with Kelsey. Okay, you want to say Kelsey was unhealthy? Valdez-Scantling's making plays. The offensive line is blocking better if that's possible, right? Like little things are happening. The design is different. They're running a lot of 3 tight end, 12 personnel. Like it's totally different, but it's a totally different look now than it was during the regular season. I just think this is genius of
you mean Andy Reid is making genius moves now as opposed to when he was in Philadelphia? Fuck you, Alex.
You gotta let it go, Fog. You want a chip. You gotta let it go.
Let it go. Because when people turn around and when Brian Adard makes statements like, oh, wow. The Eagles should have had a coach like Andy Reid. Fuck you, you dumbass Cowboys fan. Lick a dick. Because the bottom line is Andy Reid wasn't coaching in Philly the way he is in KC, and you can see it. It's evident. And Alex, you're rolling your eyes. Fuck off too, because Andy Reid always talked about having a quarterback like he did in Green Bay with Brett Favre. And guess what? Donovan McNabb didn't fit that mold, but Patrick Mahomes did, and his play calling was completely different.
Your guy got you to a Super Bowl with Donovan McNabb, bud. Like, let's be real. Like,
dude,
stop hating on the
Cleveland
man,
Browns haven't
bro.
done shit. I don't want to hear shit.
Here we go.
From you.
Here we go. I just destroyed your argument. Now you want to attack my team. I get it, bud.
You didn't destroy anything.
He got you to a Super Bowl with an average to maybe good quarterback, bub. Stop hating on the man.
Eagles fans, I don't know why Eagles fans hate McNabb.
McNabb is a very good quarterback.
Average.
I disagree with that.
I disagree with you guys.
But hey, I'll answer the question, Drew, because you know.
Thank you, Brian.
Fogged it.
Thank you, Brian.
Go ahead.
Thank you, Brian.
Didn't either.
Chiefs. Hey, look. The Chiefs had a hell of a game plan. I'll stick with what I said. I'll stick with what I said before. I think the Chiefs came in with the game plan of shortening the game. Right. If you noticed one thing, right? When did the Chiefs snap the ball? They snapped the ball. Every single time they snapped the ball, there was like 1 second left on the play clock. That's shortening the game. They knew
time of possession.
They weren't trying to score 40 against this team. They knew they weren't going to be able to do that. They had to move the ball, convert on third downs. They were 8 for 18 on third down. I believe they were like 5 for 6 in the first half or something like that. It was some crazy number. Kelsey,
I'll tell you.
Kelsey was unbelievable in the first half. He had 11 catches overall, right? They were converting those fourth downs. Pacheco was getting the ball. They had some good stops. They got him off the field, but it was really non-consequential. Right? They were really non-consequential stops because the Ravens were playing like crap on offense, and the Chiefs knew that. They knew that. And that's why I wasn't really mad that they went for it on a 4th and 1 in their own in Ravens territory, because they knew, okay, our defense is stopping. Lamar is shitting the bed. Monken is shitting the bed. Let's put our defense out there and let's just roll with that. Like, I felt like it was a great game. It was a Go ahead.
No, yeah, I'm agreeing with you, because I honestly, if I had to bet money on it, I thought the rushing attempts would have been a little bit more than the passing attempts. Yet they flipped it. It was 39 to 32. Really balanced attack, man. It was a really balanced attack from both fronts of the offensive side for the Chiefs. And Lewis, I think you're directing that to Alex. We don't agree with Alex what you just said about Kelsey.
I know.
So
you're not that intelligent. I understand.
I know.
I get it. It's over your head.
All
three of you, it was over your head. I understand.
Not you, B.
But Edmund and those.
You said all three of you.
Yeah, I said Lewis and you two clowns.
I want to respond to Edmund Lewis real quick. He's saying we're giving Andy Reid too much credit. I don't think that's fair. I don't know how we're giving him too much credit, because this guy is orchestrating this offense. And look, I love
Absolutely.
EB. I love Eric Bieniemy. I really do. I love the guy. But look, he's not there, and they're still going back to the Super Bowl, right? So I don't know how we're giving him too much credit. This is Andy Reid's footprint, handprint, whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
This entire time with Mahomes, everything. Don't even get me started on Matt Nagy. Matt Nagy's just there. He's there to have fun. I don't know why Matt Nagy's there.
And if
Nagy isn't calling her plays.
If it wasn't Andy Reid, then why is his coaching tree so successful? He's got coaches on like half the staff in the entire NFL. There were 6 guys in this game that were connected to him when he was at Philadelphia. They were coaching in this game itself. Like, it's insane. His tree is bananas. It's the opposite of Bill Belichick's, right?
Yeah.
So the guy is a legitimate genius.
When you write the game in the NFL, he has a handprint in several chapters of the game because of his coaching tree and his offensive genius.
100%.
Yeah. I have no argument with that. I just want to finish with this. It's funny that my boy's on it, Lewis, and we're in a group chat, and we talked about he has Mahomes already as the GOAT. He just from a talent perspective, from an accolades, which is fine. I understand it. For me, Mahomes is now in my official top 5 after today. The young man is amazing, dude. He's absolutely amazing from a talent perspective, from a clutch, from a postseason, everything that I look measuring wise. I mean, the only thing that's keeping me away from putting him in the top 3 is I just need to see a little bit more of a longevity, and then I'll put him into the top 3. Fogg, real quick, just finish it up real quick. Let's get to the next game because I feel like the next game is going to be a half an hour conversation on its own. So
yeah, I knew when you said 30-minute show, you were lying. But go ahead.
Yeah, give me a couple. Give me a couple things you want to say for the Chiefs side.
Almost damn 11 o'clock.
What?
Okay, Twilight. Hold on, we're almost done.
Bub, I'm up at 5:30. I'm sorry.
So am I.
You don't. You have luxury of sleep.
You're 3 hours away. Go. That's not my fault.
Let's go. Hurry up.
So wait, what was the question again? What the fuck?
You just want to move on?
Move on. Let's move on. Let's go. Come on, get to the next game.
Couple things you want to say about the Chiefs, about the game. Their side.
Nothing. They played great. Steve Spagnuolo.
Okay, we'll move on.
Spags is great.
Oh yeah, I do like what Dave Jones just brought up. Let's give Kelsey his flowers, man, for passing Jerry Rice in playoff reception.
Yeah.
That's a freaking amazing feat that I didn't ever think would get surpassed, and let alone by a tight end.
What's up, Archie?
By a tight end is insane.
Still not the greatest tight end in Chiefs history. I don't give a fuck what anybody says. I'm taking Tony Gonzalez over him any day of the week. All right, you can move on.
Yep, absolutely.
Move on. Let's go. Niners, baby. Let's go.
I'm gonna bite my lip.
You bite it.
I'm gonna bite my lip. I love Tony, but I'm gonna bite my lip. But
you gotta be up early. So I want to move on.
50, man. I mean, 39 minutes. The time of session is crazy for an offense. So I mean, that's hard. Yeah, we'll give our flowers to Kelsey. Thank you for bringing it up, David. I appreciate it. All right, NFC Championship game. 49ers 34, Lions 31. 49ers squeaked it out at the end. We're going to talk 49ers erased a 17-point deficit after falling down 24-7 heading into the half. They win the NFC Championship after losing the last 2. Guys, is this the biggest
choke job? Yes.
Choke job ever by a head coach?
Yeah.
Is this worse? Is this worse than Dan Quinn?
No, this isn't like
because
this isn't the Atlanta Falcons losing the Super Bowl when they're
Kyle Shanahan was the OC.
This isn't that bad. This isn't that bad, but it's bad because I mean they should have had 6 more points, and by him gambling, they didn't. Yeah. So now, who's to say? Even with those, I saw that meme. I saw that meme on Facebook. I saw that meme on Facebook already.
Dan Quinn holds that title. I think we all agree.
Yeah.
We all agree.
Now, who's to say though, right? If they kick those 2 field goals and they're still up by 3, the way the Niners looked in that second half, who's to say that they don't score another touchdown, right?
Yeah.
And they don't win the game anyways, right? Like, to me, the most impressive thing about this game was Brock Purdy. You cannot call that guy a system quarterback.
Say that one more time.
Ever.
Say that one more time.
Say that one more time. I can call. Wait. Why can't I? Why?
His off-script plays? Are you kidding me? So we give Patrick Mahomes a just carte blanche how great he is.
Patrick Mahomes. Are you kidding me right now?
Hold
on.
We give him carte blanche how great he is with his off-script plays, right?
Mm-hmm.
Brock Purdy looked like the same fucking thing. I'm sorry. In that second half, he didn't. Bro.
I don't agree.
In the second half, he looked unstoppable.
In the second, okay.
That's what I'm saying.
But does Mahomes do that? Does Mahomes give you shit in the first half and then give you a great second half? Or does Mahomes?
Oh my bad. I forgot. Patrick Mahomes is undefeated since he's been in the NFL. He's never had a bad game. He's never played bad. He's never had a bad half. Like you saw what the guy's potential was in the second half. Like you can't.
Hey, if you want to be serious, Mahomes is what 14-3 in the playoffs, damn near perfect. He's damn near perfect in the postseason.
And what's
right?
Wait, 14-3.
Something like that. I know it's some crazy.
He lost
number.
to Cincinnati. He lost to big. Oh yeah,
He's only lost 3 games in his whole life in the playoffs.
That's crazy.
What's Brock Purdy?
I don't know. What is he? 3-0?
He has like 4. I think he's got 3 games that he started in, and he's 3-0.
Great.
Okay.
No, more than that.
You don't like it. I get it. You're wrong. You don't like it. I understand. I understand. You're wrong. I get it. People don't like to be wrong.
Hey, one guy at a time.
You like to be prisoner of the moment. Why don't you just go knit his damn gold jacket right now?
Who said
go give Brock Purdy his gold jacket right now?
Who said anything about Hall of Famer?
The
statement I made was the guy's not a system
because you're comparing him to an already Hall of Famer. He just started. I'm not even saying Brock Purdy is a bad quarterback. He's good. He's actually very good to great sometimes. He has these moments. But if you go back to that Packers game, he sucked up until that last drive. Did he not?
Cool.
Right. Okay. See,
what is the point? What is the point? What is your point? He sucked until the last drive, and then he was the fucking reason they won.
No, he was not the reason they won. It was Christian McCaffrey. Christian McCaffrey's the reason why they won these games.
Yeah, you're right.
I know I'm right.
Okay, let's look at his stats on the last drive. Let's look at his stats on the last drive. Like 7 for 8, fucking 60-something yards and a touchdown. But it was Christian McCaffrey. I forgot. Go ahead, man.
Christian McCaffrey is the most important player on this team.
Nobody's arguing that.
Hey, so he was the reason why they won these games. You take Christian McCaffrey off the offense, you think the Niners win these games? You said that. Don't rub your face. You said that.
All I said was the guy's not
the same guy that turns around and knocks Peyton Manning for everything. But
I know.
I'm just saying.
Yeah.
All I'm saying is.
What does your statement mean, Fogg? Because that was the dumbest thing I've ever heard out of your mouth.
There's a lot of dumb things that come out of my mouth, and a lot of dumb things that come out of your mouth.
But the Peyton Manning analysis is not one, but
Alex,
sorry.
All I'm saying
backed up with facts.
Don't compare. Don't bring up if you want to say that Brock Purdy had a good game because his off-script play is great. Just don't bring up guys don't bring up guys about with Mahomes and compare him to guys like that, because then it's Mahomes has been doing this for the last 6-7 years. Brock
Purdy hasn't even done anything great. What do you?
He hasn't. Brock Purdy had a nice drive last game. He was 6 for 7 on that last drive, but he absolutely was terrible. Right. And then this game, the first half, he looked like shit again.
Yeah.
But he's turning around in the second half. It's cool.
And played a great second half.
Yeah.
It was very
great
pivotal
job.
in the win.
Coaches figured
Without
things out.
him at quarterback, they didn't win that game. The plays he made. Get the fuck out of here. But
Alex,
Andy Reid's a bomb. Stop, dude.
Alex, the
bad take after bad take.
No one said Andy Reid's a bum.
The Niners have been here without.
You just said he was overrated.
The Niners have been
I said
here
he's a top 5 coach of all time, Alex. Are you listening, or is age getting to you?
I don't know. I think them drinks are getting to you, bud. I'd hate to see your liver test. Anyway, next story. Let's go. Come on.
Okay.
Fuck.
Let me just comment on the game.
All I said was he's not a system quarterback. Let's just get back to that. And you said, he is, but he's not. But go ahead.
Why? So he's not a system quarterback because he made some off-script plays in the second half.
Correct. Multiple off-script plays.
That's all
multiple off-script plays.
He
led them to the victory.
My bad.
Okay.
Multiple. So you're telling me because of that, we can just take that tag off of him now. Now he's a guy that can. Now he's a guy, because when you're saying he's not a system quarterback, you're telling me and everybody else that you can plug him in on any football team and he'll do the exact same thing. Yes or no?
Not the exact same thing.
What would he do?
It matters the talent around you.
Oh shit! No, okay.
Well, that's the definition
matters,
of a
right?
system
Christ,
quarterback.
like, holy fuck.
Okay, then the system matters. Then don't say he's not a system quarterback anymore. And then when I say
Okay.
you pull
So
him
Patrick Mahomes is a system quarterback then, right?
Yes, he is. He's in
Okay.
Andy Reid's system. Yes, he
Okay.
is.
Okay.
I'm not afraid to say that.
Okay.
I don't think
I
Patrick
would
Mahomes.
be.
I don't think. Look.
I would be.
We're off the rails. Let's just get back
You
to
can-
the
Wait. Okay, you can
Wait,
plug
wait,
Mahomes
wait.
anywhere in any offense. He's gonna be productive.
Be productive, yes, but would he have the same success?
No. Well, I mean, success is determined by your team.
No, stop it.
Yes,
We
it
give-
is.
No, don't do this BS now, because we give quarterbacks wins. We talk about the most important player on the team. Don't
No,
backtrack
the media-
now about
the media
quarterbacks
gets
now.
quarterback
Don't
wins.
do that now. No.
Don't put me in that box.
No,
Don't put me in that box.
Huh?
Ryan, don't put me in that box. Don't put me in that box where wins and losses, like postseason wins, like Austin just brought up, how Lamar's 2-5, but he really should be 2-4. You read it wrong. I don't look at that. That does nothing for me. I've been very consistent on wins and losses as a team stat for quarterbacks. I care about the numbers and the performance that you're performing. I don't care about wins and losses.
Either or, but at the end of the day,
you can't control your.
At the end of the day, quarterbacks will be judged by their wins and losses, whether we like it or not.
Which is stupid.
I mean,
I think that's beyond stupid.
I don't know how. I mean, I don't like it. I don't like how much stock we put into it, but I understand why we do, because they are the most important players on the team. They have the ball in their hands all the time. And look, we see it. If you have, but wait, if you have a quarterback, you're most likely going to win some games. So they're very. I understand why we do it though.
But prime example is Josh Allen. Josh Allen's 4-5. But look at his numbers. He has one of the greatest postseason resumes that you can look for from a stat. Some stat wise, PPR and PR.
Incredible postseason.
Another guy. But I mean, it's that's why people always bring up the eye talent. Oh, is he a game changer? Is he the guy that can elevate players that are not good and make them better? There's so many multitudes of things of different variables, I should say, that can come into evaluating a quarterback instead of just wins and losses. There's just I don't roll with that. I think that's stupid, because some guys are benefited with a top 5 defense for the majority of their career. So I mean, it's a lot of different variables that have to go into what a quarterback is and what a quarterback isn't. Like we talked about this morning. I don't know if you guys watched the show or not. 25 teams in the NFL would take Josh Allen.
Sure. 25
NFL teams would take Josh Allen. They're not going to look at his accomplishments. They're not going to look at his accolades. They're going to look at his talent and what comes off the screen. Correct?
Yeah.
Are we all agreeing on that?
I think probably 31.
Okay, I'm being 25. I'm just throwing 25 out there. I'm just saying, dude. It's a multitude of things that go into being a quarterback to be good. I'm not agreeing with Alex where you could drop Brock Purdy and I could drop him in Kansas City. Do I think Brock Purdy could do what Patrick Mahomes did this year? No. Absolutely not. Absolutely not. But does Brock Purdy deserve the credit for what he did tonight? Does he deserve the credit for what he's been able to show in the season? I mean, he's an MVP candidate. That has to mean something in some world. It has to mean something.
He wouldn't be in my MVP battle. I'm being honest.
We know you.
I think it's it makes my point. The only reason why he's on the MVP ballot is because he's a quarterback on the best team with one of the best records. That's the only reason why Brock Purdy's on the ballot. That is it. It's not because of his talent. It's not because of
he's wrong.
Okay, that's fine. You
no, he's not saying you're wrong, B. He's saying Austin's wrong.
Austin's wrong.
No, well, I'm saying that
he can run. He's big. He can move. You're wrong.
Brock Purdy, it brings my point to how we emphasize quarterbacks. And I know that Fogg hates quarterbacks, but I agree with him on this point. I agree with him on this point. No, for real, Fogg. We put so much emphasis on them that sometimes we get blinded by this aura, right? Like Brock Purdy. Can you believe we're putting Brock Purdy in the same damn sentences as like Mahomes and Lamar Jackson and Josh Allen? Why? Why are we doing that?
Who's putting him in the same sentence? I didn't
say you, Alex.
I know,
He's
but
talking generally.
But who though? Like, I mean,
on MVP ballot. So basically,
MVP ballots.
watch the games.
Sure, you can have an MVP season because everything lines up perfectly like it did for him this year. But we know from the eye test, he's not as talented as any one of those three that you talked about.
There were conversations about Brock Purdy being elite, like actual conversation in a lot of circles.
Like you mean you're talking like TV because I need to fill airspace for an hour or 2 hour show, right?
Okay.
That's controversial. That's not like I bet you those people that were making those arguments don't really believe that in their heart, Bub. Like I get what you're saying. I understand people, are making stupid arguments all the time, but you got to fill airspace when you're on national TV, right?
Let's get back. Let's get back.
That was my fault.
All right, so it's all good. It's all. We can talk football for 3 hours about any little thing we want. We're degenerates. Hey, Fog, real quick, give me the basis of this game and what you took from it.
49ers, they got lucky.
Okay, that's it.
Yeah, they got lucky.
No.
What do you want to say?
I mean, he's
That's
right.
it.
Fuck! They were down 24-7 at half.
You got lucky. They did.
Like they got lucky. This is incredible.
Yeah, they lucked out that
Good
Dan
point,
Campbell made some really bonehead calls in the second
All
half.
right, well, I'll get into it all time. Since me and Brian want to talk about the game, I'll talk about it a little bit, man. It's actually one of the worst idiotic second half coaching performances I ever seen in my life. Unfortunately, I'm happy for it because now he takes over Brandon Staley as the worst playoff, not Super Bowl, playoff coaching debacle I've ever seen in my life in the second half. You're up 24-7. You didn't score at all in the second half, and or you did score at the end when it didn't really matter, but you missed on 2 opportunities to kick field goals. That's 6 points you left on the side. Even if Moody makes his kick in the first half, you're still up 3. I know analytics and people are into advanced analytics. Alex isn't, and I don't know about Brian and Fogg, but I'm 50-50 on it. But one thing that these nerds don't understand is momentum, and momentum. It literally takes you in. It takes you away from the game if you give up that play on 4th down, right, Fogg? And we talked about it before. You did a play where Reynolds dropped the ball instead of kicking 3, and then you did another play where Goff got pushed out of the pocket to the right side. It wasn't even close to throwing the ball to hit St. Brown. Those 2 plays were the same 2 plays where the San Francisco was on a run. You know how you stop runs? By scoring points. That's how you stop momentum. Mm-hmm. And Dan Campbell gave them that momentum and multiplied it. That's the issue that I have with coaches.
Yeah, but that drop ball by Reynolds.
I know, Fogg, but still, it's if you're going to throw it to Brown. Like, scheme it to Brown then. Scheme it to Laporta.
I agree.
Scheme it. Obviously, the fumble by Gibbs, he's a rook. That stuff's going to happen. It's a big game. I feel bad for the kid because I think he's the next big thing at the running back position. But man, oh man, dude, like the percentages and all that stuff, dude. Like I feel like it hurts the game, it helps the game. But man, oh God, dude, it just like the Lions. I just oh man, what a debacle of a second half. I don't want to get into the stats, but I will say this for Brock Purdy. Over 300 yards by himself, 52 rushing, 267 passing. He had a QBR of 88.1 and a passer rating of 90, almost 90. So I mean, he was below average passer. So that goes to Brian's point. But the QBR he did ball out. So I mean, so it's a multitude of 2 different halves. Deebo Samuel was the difference maker, right, Brian? We talked about it before. Deebo makes that offense more dynamic. 8 catches, 89 yards. And then for the rushing part of it, he only added 7 yards. But that run by him got that first down to pretty much seal the game there. So I mean, it's hard, dude. It's hard because that throw by Brock Purdy, it hit the guy's helmet. Then it hit Ayuk in the hands. One of the greatest catches we've ever seen, and luckiest. But yeah, I just
very
this
giant
is a weird game,
Super Bowl-esque.
It's a weird game.
Catch right there.
I mean, it's simple. I mean, it's a pretty
It's a
simple
weird
thing.
game.
The Giants. I'm gonna say the Giants choked. The Lions choked. They just choked this game away. I mean,
The second half. Well, I mean, like
pretty
you
straightforward.
think they
Mhm.
kick 2 field goals, they
Mhm.
win the game, right? Like you scored 24 points in the first half, and you couldn't get 6 more. Like I got the 7 was in mop up junk time, right? Like 49ers playing prevent defense. They got to get 2 scores. They're not going to give up 2. So we can let you get a touchdown and the game's basically over because you got to kick it back to us, right?
But Alex, hold on real quick. And I think you all agree. But even with that, even when you say to kick 2 field goals, when they went for it on 4th down and Reynolds dropped the ball, correct? That next drive, San Francisco scored a quick touchdown like that.
Yeah.
They
momentum.
got the ball. Hold on, let me finish. They got the ball and kick return. The first play, Gibbs fumbles the ball.
Yep.
Right? Now hold on. Momentum just doubled up. Now it tripled up with the fumble. They scored, and they get down to the other side of the San Francisco 30 or 35 or 40. Quick. And what do they do on 4th down? They go for it. You're not going to tell me in that moment when the multiplier is so high of the momentum, you're not going to go and defeat that momentum by at least leaving with points. At least leaving with points.
Yeah, I think I agree with you. It's a bonehead play.
That's what annoys me.
It's a bonehead play, but I think in Campbell's mind, right? They convert that. They score a touchdown. They win the game. In his mind, he thinks we score a touchdown here. Doesn't matter all this momentum. We win the game, right? I understand where you should take the points 100%. The bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush, right? Like you should definitely take the points there.
Not only that, inexperienced team.
Yeah, no, you got a bunch of young guys. Goff is your most experienced player on that team, right?
Yep. Only 4
sucks,
players
man.
have postseason experience in the Detroit Lions.
It sucks because I really thought after the first half, there's no way the Lions lose this game. They just were clicking on all cylinders.
Yeah.
They looked dominant. They looked the way I expected the 49ers to look. It was like it was roles reversed, right? And then they forgot how to play that same dominant football in the second half. Now I give San Francisco some credit. They made adjustments, but I still think it's
big time
Detroit.
Adjustments.
I think it's Detroit trying not to lose rather than trying to win, except for those one-offs where Dan Campbell's like, man, we got to go for it, right? Instead of let's take some points, because points is how you win the game. If I'm not, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you have more points than the other team, you win, right? So I would take the points. I'm just saying.
Brian, finish it up for us, man.
No, man, everybody's saying the same thing. I mean, in a nutshell, this is a huge choke job by the Lions. I mean, there's really nowhere else to put it. Like they just came out in the second half. Actually, they didn't come out in the second half. They stayed in the locker room. If you want to get real, they didn't come out. Like so. Yeah, and it was just bad. And honestly, Ben Johnson gets a little bit of blame on this as well because I don't know the Niners, especially this last 6-7 weeks, have not been the greatest run defensive team. They could not stop the run, and they kind of stopped. They stopped running the football when you're up 24-7. I'm not sure why you're not running Montgomery and Gibbs not to the ground, but and they had 15 and 12 carries respectively. So Montgomery had 6.2 yards a carry, I believe.
Montgomery had a really good game. We predicted Gibbs, but it was Montgomery that really showed up.
I don't understand why Ben Johnson went away. There was a 4th and 3, I believe. I think it was in the fourth quarter. It was like pretty much the season on the line, and it was 4th and 3. I understand 4th and 3 is a little long for a run, but I don't know why you don't run the football there. I don't know why you put the ball.
They ran it on 3rd and 12. The Gibbs.
And they ran on 3rd and 12 Gibbs, and they got it like
that was more of a Chase Young issue than it was Gibbs. I mean, Chase Young went from
I will-
the outside gap. It went into the A gap. I don't know what the hell he was doing, not setting the edge, but whatever.
I'm not sure what he was doing either, but
Uh,
it was just bad. Again, I guess the theme of today was that inexperience reared its ugly head on the teams for the Ravens and Lions, like especially in the coaching, like inexperience killed both those teams. Inexperience is just overcoaching, overthinking. Like, somebody just texted. I was talking to my friend. Somebody just texted me that the Ravens. I'm not to go back to the Ravens game, but the Ravens were playing like they were down 21-0, right? But they were only down by 10 all game. Like, I don't know why they went away from the run. But in the same thing with the Lions, they were playing like they were playing like it was a tie game and they were trying to get some points. Like it was a shootout. It was 24-7. I don't know.
Yeah, I hear you. I do want to rewatch after that fumble their offensive play calling because I think he went away from the game script and went all passing to Jared Goff. Well, whatever, dude. It is what it is. I lost
the Lions game. Yeah, he's really upset with the Lions because he lost a significant amount of money on that game. But that's really why he's so upset. If you haven't caught the drift, I was really happy with the Ravens because I won $250 thanks to them. So I appreciate it. But
whatever. All right, let's since we're not going to have a show on Tuesday, let's just talk a little bit about the Super Bowl and what we're going to expect because we will not have a show until the week of Super Bowl. We can make predictions if you were ready to make predictions, but let's set up the stage real quick. So we got the San Francisco 49ers in a rematch against the Kansas City Chiefs. Rematch of the 2020 Super Bowl? Yeah, 2020 Super Bowl. So this is going to be in Vegas. Already the lines came out that the San Francisco 49ers, I believe, are 2.5 favorites. So I expect that line to change dramatically.
Especially when
real quick, man, let's talk about resumes here. So this is going to be Mahomes' 4th Super Bowl in 6 years. This is going to be Andy Reid's 5th Super Bowl. Potentially a 3rd ring for Big Red, a 3rd ring for Patrick Mahomes, which would, for me personally, if he wins it, would solidify him in my top 3 if he wins the Super Bowl. And
3 out of 6. That's fucking wild.
Whoo, that's crazy. And then on the flip side,
and back to back with worse team than he won it the year before.
Yes,
offensively,
this team offensively is way worse.
Their defense is light years better, though. Let's be realistic.
Way better. So, guys, real quick, just give me your thoughts right away. And if you have a prediction, you could predict it, or we could save it for the show. Go ahead, Fog. You go first, buddy, because it's Andy Reid.
Fuck Andy Reid, but I'm going to be real. I think KC wins it.
That's it?
Yeah.
What is going on tonight? You're the most detailed guys, and you're just saying
very insightful. Very insightful.
What's going on tonight?
Alex, like it. Very insightful.
Go ahead, Alex.
Listen, man, I'm gonna institute Tom Brady 2.0 rule. Don't fucking bet against Patrick Mahomes. You just don't, man. Like, he's gonna figure out a way to get it done. It's very early Patriots-esque, right? They won with defense, and Brady just led him on a game-winning drive at the end of the game, and they kick a field goal, and everybody likes to say, oh, it wasn't Tom. But he led him there to get him in field goal range to win those games. Mm-hmm. He didn't make mistakes. He made off-script plays, even though that's not really what Tom was known for, right? You just don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. I mean, just period. You don't bet against Patrick Mahomes. And all these rumors about Andy Reid retiring, why in the world would you retire with a guy in his prime like Patrick Mahomes and you could win 2 or 3 more Super Bowls before you retire. Like
Easily.
it just doesn't make any sense.
No, it don't.
Unless
It don't.
unless Bill Belichick has his family tied up in a basement somewhere with guns to their heads, because that's the only way Bill's winning another Super Bowl is if he gets a team like this. Bill ain't winning again. So I'm just saying.
We're gonna get banned, dude. I tell you, one of these days we're gonna get banned.
Andy Reid ain't retiring, but if they win a Super Bowl, that means even more he's gonna come back. I would expect it maybe if they lost, but not if they win. So I think it's gonna be a good game. But I think Pat finds a way to win. I think defense plays very similar to the way they did against the Ravens, meaning that they hold them to low points and it's a low-scoring game, maybe 21-14, 21-17, somewhere in that range. I don't see it being a high-scoring game. It's 2 really good defenses. Obviously, the quarterback edge goes to Kansas City, and he just finds a way to win, and I think they win again.
So
I'm gonna go real. Yeah, go ahead, brother.
I said what I said. Alex said what he said. What was the difference?
Way more detail.
What was the difference?
A lot of detail.
What detail? He expressed nothing. He didn't express that.
Go to bed. Okay, so for me, I think it's I'm not betting against Mahomes anymore the rest of the postseason. I'm on the Chiefs till they lose. I'm right with you, Alex, and I'm pretty sure Brian and Fogg are the same way. It's getting to the point of just give this guy the two lacrosse players and 6'5" basketball player, and he'll win somehow. That's the way I look at it. On the real though, on this game, I'm not going to give an actual prediction. I'm going to wait and I'm going to see how everything comes together. But man, oh man, Andy Reid will not retire. I don't think that's even close. I think that's a bunch of crap because I'm pretty sure the NFL, Brian, doesn't want him to retire either because I think Andy has a good shot. If he wins the Super Bowl, right, I think he has a good shot of winning a couple more. I really do. Because the cap room may get easier as the years come by because that contract for Mahomes, that cap, they're going to fix it, right? I mean, the cap is going to get a little bit more easier for them to go get players, to get better players on the offensive side. And I this was supposed to be not the year the KC goes to Super Bowl. Instead, they're going. And so, you got to give credit to Spag. You got to give credit to Andy Reid. You got to give huge credit to Patrick Mahomes, that defense. And San Francisco is not popping off the charts for me as they were in week 5. How can Brock Purdy do this? Lamar Jackson couldn't do it. Tua couldn't do it. Josh Allen couldn't do it in the second half. How is Brock going to be able to pull this out? The only way I see this happening, guys, is controlling the TOP with CMC. Like, you need what CMC did today, Brian. You need it times 20 for them to be able to pull this game out and win this game. I mean, it's going to take amazing effort from all sides of the ball for San Francisco. And the biggest kill is Kyle Shanahan not effing up the game. So it's going to be a lot. That's my take on it. I'm excited for it. I think it's going to be a good game. But San Francisco secondary, I mean, it's nowhere near what Baltimore secondary is. But I'll give Steve Wilkes 2 weeks to prepare. So we'll see what happens. Brian, finish it up for us, brother.
I'm not gonna give my prediction either because I do want to watch a couple more like games, rewatch some games and stuff like that, and watch some film and see how things kind of formulate over the next couple of weeks. See how guys get healthy, whatever, whatnot. I'm not even worried about Brock Purdy in this game. If CMC doesn't play well in this game, they're gonna lose. Like that's.
I agree.
I'm not even worried about Brock Purdy. He is if there's a totem pole in terms of players who I worry about, if I'm the Chiefs, if I'm Spags, it's not Brock Purdy, it's CMC, it's Debo Samuels, Brent Ayuk, it's Greg Kittle, and then Brock Purdy. And like it's not even like
don't forget Trent Williams.
I'm not
the real MVP this year.
Look. In terms of I'm not really confident in the Chiefs' defense. I know that the Ravens didn't really like help that confidence. The Ravens didn't do anything today, but the Ravens could have ran on this team. Todd Monken decided not to because like this person said, they're middle of the road against the run. I think Christian McCaffrey is poised to be the Super Bowl MVP. Now, whether or not the NFL wants to give it to him and make Brock Purdy the Super Bowl MVP, that's another discussion we could have for another day because we know they want to prop up these quarterbacks and whatever, right? But Brock Purdy, I mean, CMC has a chance to really take over this game. And let's be real here. CMC, when I say this, I'm not trying to how do I say this without sounding too extreme? He's not only the best back in the game, like by far. It's him and then whoever else you have number 2. I don't know who will be number 2. It's
another dumbass take made by Ed Lewis. Holy shit, man. I swear this guy reads in crayon.
He's in our fantasy league group chat.
Like,
Lewis messes with him all the time.
And admittedly, he can't even read cursive. Like, I don't even know why this guy's talking right now.
Not many can.
Jesus.
Not many. Look, Edmund, not many can. So just.
Stop it!
It's true. I'm in education. I've seen it. Not many.
Yeah. All right. You're right. You're probably right.
He is right.
But he's old enough. Right. He should be able to. So.
But I think CMC is poised to have a big game.
Veteran crap is pissing me off.
I do think CMC is poised to have a good game. I think this game is going to be closer to their things, but I'm not sure who's going to win it because, even like this game is almost kind of identical to the 2020 game, but seemingly the Niners have a better quarterback. I think Brock Purdy is obviously better than Jimmy Garoppolo. So, they have that.
I hope so.
So I think that gives them a better shot. So even though they were like a throw away from winning that game, it was an overthrow away from winning that game.
Tyreek Hill, man.
They were an overthrow from winning that game. The Niners could have won that game. They were not out of that game. So, but I think it's going to be a good game. I think it's going to be evenly matched. But I'm going to save my pick for the next show. But I do believe that it's going to be a game where CMC is going to be utilized a lot. I mean, he's going to be utilized a lot.
I feel like you're spot on, though. If San Francisco wins this game, CMC is the MVP. Mm-hmm. Like, I don't foresee Brock Purdy having a good game against this defense. So
it's a tough defense, man.
With that being said, I see like CMC over 100 yards rushing, probably another 50 to 60 in receiving, probably 3 touchdowns. That's the way I see them winning. I like your prediction of if San Francisco wins, CMC's the MVP.
He's like what I was trying to say before that comment.
I think you all agree with that.
He's like, I love the running back position, but his vision, he's so good. Like he's like, I didn't even realize he was this good in Carolina.
Right.
But obviously Carolina's a trash place, so you won't know. But he's almost a guaranteed first down. He's so good.
He's a better version of LaDainian Tomlinson to me.
Ooh.
Like that's and that's hard because I love.
No, you know what, Alex? No. Look.
I love LaDainian
not even close.
Not even close.
Not even close.
Love it.
I'm not even mad.
Why are you choosing fighting words?
That's not fighting.
11:20 at night where you're at, dude.
I'm not.
Why are you
like
fighting words? You might as well just be a
comparison isn't that bad.
Stop.
Is that not a good comparison?
No, that's a good comparison.
Terrible comparison.
How? What's that, dude? Drew, they do.
These are all Chargers fans. They're all Chargers fans.
Real talk, Drew. Real talk. If I'm being honest, I'm not. Look, LT is in my top 5 running backs of all time.
Yeah,
I'm not putting CMC there, obviously, right? LT.
If David Jones says I'm right, I'm 1,000% fucking right, bud.
But
you lost any fucking argument.
He hates the
No
Chargers, so I don't care.
whatsoever.
Drew, let me ask you
Yeah,
this.
but I think he hates me more.
What does
he loves
Drew? What does Ladainian Tomlinson do that
Number
Christian
one,
McCaffrey
my
cannot
line.
do?
Stupid.
Yeah.
God,
Stupid.
David.
Drew, what does LT do that CMC cannot do? Not better, but what's the difference?
Nothing.
What's the not better?
I mean, obviously LT's
What
probably
I mean,
LT's probably better athlete, probably faster or
Run the
shifty.
damn ball.
Vision, his running the ball,
Lewis.
his
He's a better overall back, yes.
yeah.
But I think
Obviously
CMC
he's better than that.
I think CMC does everything that LT did, but LT just did it better for a longer amount of time and at an elite level, really.
Well,
in
LT did it more before that team even got good. From 03 to 05, there was no offensive distractions on the outside. He had a short what do you call it, a noodle arm Drew Brees and an offensive line that was one of the worst for 3 years. He did the best out of it.
CMC's never really had Peyton Manning either.
No, but he had playmakers around him.
Like who? Outside of the Niners?
Carolina? In Carolina?
Cam like 1 year.
Cam?
Yeah, he had the worst vision.
Install the RPO back in the day. LT would have way more yards. Stop.
If he was
RPO
what?
wasn't existent back then.
No. He had Cam. I feel like he had Cam for like 1 year. If I'm not mistaken.
Oh, he had Cam way more than one. No, he didn't.
So
he had Cam from 16, 17, 18.
No, I think CMC was drafted in 2018 and Cam was out.
Okay, so 2018, 19, 20.
2 years.
3 years.
So Cam,
this is a long time.
So Cam was a better quarterback than any quarterback LT had, is what you're saying.
No, Cam was a better quarterback his first 3 years in the league compared to what LT had the first 3 years. LT only had Drew Brees for 1 year. Remember, Drew Brees tore his shoulder.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And who did he have after
Phillip Rivers for like?
Who did he have after that?
Phillip rookies for a rookie year. Phillip Rivers. Guy, Cam adds another dynamic to Phillip Rivers, guy.
Phillip Rivers is a fringe Hall of Famer. Cam Newton's not even in the conversation. So let's stop right now.
I'm not gonna sit here and say CMC's.
I'm talking from a running perspective.
Stop it, Brooks.
I'm not saying
Flutie was one of his quarterbacks.
I know, but stop it.
You bring up. I hate you that you brought that comparison. I think that's
not a bad
comparison. Yes, it is. It's terrible. He's a better version of Brian Westbrook. Yeah. He's a way better version of Brian Westbrook.
That's disrespectful.
I'm signing off. I'm done.
What?
Done. What?
That's
the
disrespectful.
fuck? Are you
dude.
kidding me?
That's disrespectful.
A better version of Brian
You
Westbrook?
gave him LT. How would you give him LT? He's the top 5, bro, of all time.
Okay.
He's not better. Alex didn't say he's better than LT. He's just compared him in terms of skill set.
All right, John, I'll go with that. That's fine. We'll do that. That's fine. We'll do that.
Eric Dickerson's a Hall of Famer.
He's not in my top 5. He's not in my top 5.
He's a Hall of Famer, though.
He's not in my top 5. He's not in my top 5.
Oh, man.
Don't disrespect LT.
No, it's disrespect LT.
No. I don't care.
Oh, you poor Chargers fans, man. You got nothing to be excited about except for LT.
Shut up. They're not purposely throwing to Kelsey because it's part of the strategy. Shut your mouth.
Oh my God.
You bald-headed asshole.
Listen, you illiterate fuck. Don't ever try and talk shit about
You can't even spell illiterate.
Yeah.
Shut your mouth.
Can you spell it?
No. I don't want to right now.
Now we're good. Now we're getting somewhere. I figured it out.
Personal.
Fucking bringing up LT. I'm going to come over and tackle Brian. I don't know how, but I'll do it.
It's a great comparison, Bub. Sorry, man.
I like Hey, Alex,
I'm
not mad at the comparison. Yeah. I'm not mad at the NFL looks different.
Bob is just going along with it because he's seeing 3 of us right now. So I don't even want to hear it.
I'm seeing 3 of you. Alex, Drew, and Brian. Fuck.
He's
3 of us.
He's seeing 9 of us, actually. He's seeing 9 of us.
You guys are retarded.
Your AirPods are not on right.
Hey, Edmund Lewis. Look, real talk. Edmund Lewis is right. I was gonna say that they play in different eras, so it's really
Yeah.
hard to compare.
No, I
Thank you,
agree.
Lewis.
No, I was
Lewis.
gonna say that, but like in terms of skill set, like just skill set for skill set.
Yeah.
they're different.
Did I
They're
say
very
that
similar.
CMC is the next coming of LT? No.
No,
Did I
he didn't.
say
Alex was
that
actually
he
right with
is
the
that
comparison.
he
Said
is
he's-
better than
he's like
LT?
a better version
No, I
of
didn't.
No,
LT.
he did
No,
not.
I
he
said
didn't.
he's
What
the
did he say?
newer version of LT, meaning they played similarly. Not that's it.
Oh,
Just
I
play
heard
style.
better.
No.
I didn't hear better.
Oh,
No.
newer version of LT?
I didn't hear better.
Oh,
No,
yeah.
He
you
never
know
said
LT's in
better.
my
Oh,
top
yeah.
5.
Oh,
Come
yeah.
on,
Oh, yeah.
man. No, you know LT's in my top
Oh, yeah.
5.
Oh, yeah. I didn't hear you say newer. I thought you said
Edmund
better.
said you said better version. I didn't hear you say
of
better.
course he did.
I didn't hear you say better.
Marshall Falk was better than Lawrence. Stop, David.
All right, guys. This the wifey gave me the eyes. I gotta get
Oh,
out
my
of here.
wife. Hello. Hey, nice half-hour show. Hour and a
Not
half
the good
later.
eyes.
It is, yeah. Hour and
Um,
26 minutes.
It's a
later.
beautiful.
Hey, we appreciate everybody showing up, man. That was awesome. We had about 15 viewers at one time, so
Yeah,
that's kind
that's
of
good
crazy
for this late
on a
at
Sunday night. I know. Hey, no show this Tuesday. We're off all next week. We will. I had to change the dates. I think we'll be on. I don't know what that following Tuesday is, but we will be on that following Tuesday for Super Bowl week. We will give our predictions. We will give up our matchups and what we're looking at, and we'll talk a little. Obviously, I think we're going to get some coaching hires as well. I'm pretty sure Ben Johnson is going to be a lock-in for the Washington Commanders head coaching job. So we'll talk about that. Thank you, John. And then we want you guys to come on, give us your comments. Us four, we're going to talk about it. A little surprise for the Eagle fan in the bottom right corner, and I guess for everybody, but especially Fogg. This is a good
Fuck
thing. I'm not talking
more.
Okay, yeah. We'll talk about that too. But DRC, the quarterback, may come on the 6th. So we might be able to get Rogers Cromartie on here and talk a little Super Bowl matchup for us that week.
Nice. That'd be cool.
Yeah, my brother, the Weed Man, has been talking to him nonstop on Twitter, and he is looking to join Game Winning Drive and talk a little bit of football on Super Bowl week. So
that's great.
Hopefully we can lure him in, and all four of us can conversate. Hopefully, in a mature setting, and
we get his opinion.
We'll have some fun. Give his opinion, and he has a lot of opinions. Apparently, according to my brother, he has a lot of opinions on Sirianni. So
good.
we'll hear. We'll hear a lot.
Shit.
So
Alex, be mature.
Oh yeah. Hey.
So with that being said, man, on the 6th, make sure you guys show up, and then obviously we'll have our big Sunday show on Super Bowl Sunday, and then I think we'll wrap it up that next Tuesday, fellas. After 6th, that would be our last episode. We'll talk about the
flowers.
Give him flowers. We'll talk about the offseason, what teams need to do what teams show up that's big for us, and we'll be back on April for the draft. So that would be the end of season 4.
Yeah.
Last words, Brian.
Experience wins. That's all I got. Experience matters.
I love it. I love it. Yeah. Dude, that was perfect.
Yeah.
Fogg.
Bro. Coaching wins. Coaching wins at the end of the day.
Best.
Okay. Thank you, Fogg. Alex.
I don't know if I can follow that up.
Which one?
Can't.
Listen, hey, I'm going to just keep with Brian's team. Say experience wins, right? So everybody should be picking Kansas City to win the Super Bowl because they got the most experience out of the two teams there.
Coaching doesn't win.
Everybody have a good week.
Yeah, man, everybody have a good week. Dude, thank you guys for coming on. Thank you guys for coming on tonight. I know it's hard with Sunday night and all that. I appreciate you guys coming on. My final words for me, man, is yeah, I think Brian said it perfectly, dude. I mean, it's the small things matter the most, dude. And they collapsed, just a complete collapse, man. Never quit, I guess I would say. 24/7 in San Francisco didn't quit.
Yeah.
It came out and they played till the last whistle. So I teach my kids, man, in high school, dude. It's very important to keep playing until you're done, until the whistle's done. So always give our love and respect to the military, our veterans, and our first responders, and everyone that is serving our country. We appreciate. We thank you, and we'll see you guys on February 6th.
Hey, Fog, Eagles suck.
Yes,